Happy Saturday evening. It is a beautiful night at Rhinos Stadium in Rochester, New York for the Western New York Flash and the Orlando Pride, second ever meeting between these two clubs. I'm Joe Giuliano. Shortly we'll be joined by our color analyst Mike Kerms for the 4-3 Flash and Pride. 86 degrees at kickoff. It was a bit breezy moments ago, but that's died down. It was from left to right, and looks like it's kind of slowing down here as we get ready for a kickoff at Rhino Stadium. Let's get your starting lineups taken care of. First, for the visitors, as we mentioned, they are 4-3 on the season. They'll start with Ashlyn Harris in goal. The back four will be Belanger, Presley, Alloway, and Catley. In the midfield, it's Evans, Edmonds, and Monica. Up top, Jasmine Spencer, Alex Morgan, Samantha Whitteman. Of course, Orlando coached by the 61-year-old former U.S. national team coach Tom Sermani. They are 4-3, 1-3 away from home. For the Western New York Flash, they come in. They'll go with Britt Eckerstrom, her second start of the season in replacement of the injured Sabrina D'Angelo. Elizabeth Eddy, Alana Kennedy, Abby Dahlkemper, and Jaylene Hinkle in the back. While the midfielders will be Doniak, Mewis, Hahn, and Speck. Up top, the two strikers, Lynn Williams and Jessica McDonald. Paul Riley, the 52-year-old, the head coach of the 4-3 Western New York Flash. Both these teams coming in with 12 points on the season. And your official for tonight is Elvis Mamatovic, and the assistant referees are Francisco Bermudez and Christopher Troutier. Fourth official is Lauren Dearman. Mike Kerms, welcome to the broadcast. The high-scoring Western New York Flash against Orlando tonight.
And can it get any better than this? Both teams 4-3. If somebody comes out a winner tonight, they are in sole possession of first place, regardless of what happens in the other matchup tonight. And how exciting is this? There's an expansion team in the Orlando Pride, and if you look at the roster on paper, how could you ever think that this was an expansion team? And then on the other side, you've got the Western New York Flash. You look at that roster, there are so many new players on that roster in terms of a lot of players that have been drafted in the last 2 years. That would be a team that you look at and say, this is an expansion team. This is a new starting team. But here you go. It's an expansion team in the Orlando Pride against a very experienced Western New York Flash organization.
Orlando in the traditional all-purple as they follow the lead of Orlando City from Major League Soccer. Western New York in the red tops with the black trim, the black shorts, and the red socks. The home side will be attacking from left to right. The crowd still filing in, and I guess you could say Alex Morgan, a big reason a lot of these fans have come here tonight.
Alex Morgan, former Western New York Flash player, back in the WPS when Alex Morgan was here. In her first year professionally, she was playing with the Western New York Flash, and they won the league that year.
We are underway at Rhino Stadium. Tony Presley, another former Flash player, sends a long ball downfield that's settled by Jaylene Hinkle. There's Williams. Speck working hard on that far side, pushes one to the top of the 18, and Presley has to spin away from pressure. Over another former Flash player, Jasmine Spencer. These two teams played on May 14th at Camping World Stadium. A 1-0 win for Orlando. Morgan in the 79th minute, giving the Pride that victory.
And what a great goal it was. Kristen Edmonds hits a left footer, puts Morgan on a breakaway, and D'Angelo just caught in no man's land, and Morgan places a perfect ball over her head into the goal. Very pretty goal in the 79th minute. And Western New York Flash, although I felt Western New York Flash dominated that first half, second half was equal, but really Western New York Flash came out on fire and had a really good game, and Paul Riley was very happy with the way that they played on the road.
Flash with possession. Eckerstrom, a 23-year-old out of Penn State, picked up the clean sheet last week. 4-0 win against Boston. Goes again as Sabrina D'Angelo out with the wrist fracture. 8 weeks on the table right now. There's Whitteman and Orlando crossing midfield on their side.
And how great is that for Eckerstrom? She comes out a 4-0 win in her debut match in her professional career.
This one played through to Catley. Monica. Good anticipation from Eddie. McDonald, the knee bandage on. Finds Williams. Still Williams, top of the 18, to her right. The shot from a tough angle. Sails wide.
And McDonald and Lynn Williams, really the dynamic duo of the league right now. They are so dangerous. This team, the Western New York Flash, they're leading the league in goals, and this is part of the reason. McDonald and Williams finding each other nonstop. Williams takes a look, gets cut out a little bit by Alloway. Good defense by Alloway to really force Williams to the outside. Williams really didn't have a great angle on goal, but nonetheless tries for that far post.
Ashlyn Harris, the 30-year-old, former member of the Flash as well, gets this one just up to midfield.
Well, Joe, I think you'll be saying that a lot.
Yeah.
Seven players from this Orlando Pride team have played for the Flash in the past.
Here's McDonald. Still McDonald battling through the challenge. Outside now. Doniak. Shot off the post and in! An early goal from the Flash. It's 1-0 in the 3rd minute. And Mackenzie Doniak has her first.
And that's Doniak's first career goal. And what a pretty ball. Great build-up. And look, it's Jess McDonald being the distributor tonight. This is the second pass that she's given. And look at this finish by Mackenzie Doniak into that far side netting. That's exactly what Lynn Williams wanted to do. And that's what Doniak did do. Put that ball in. And it's a good fight between Monica and McDonald. McDonald just wins out that battle. A nice threaded pass behind the defense, behind the back four. And a good finish there by Mackenzie Doniak. What a way to get your first career goal, 1-0 against the Orlando Pride. You could be on your way to first place, sole possession of first place in this league.
Western New York, 12 goals coming in. That's the most in the NWSL. 9 of those 12 coming in the last 2 home games. And 3 minutes in, they jump on it once again. And the high pressure, finishing their opportunities, making the most of it here on home turf during this 7-game homestand.
And how about Doniak? She scored 64 goals in her college career at University of Virginia. And you're in your 8th game as a professional. And you're like, man, when am I going to score? I used to do this all the time, no problem. And obviously it's more challenging in the best league in the world. And there it is right there, trying to prove the point of why she needs to be on the field. She's trying to prove to Paul Riley that she deserves to be there. And that's going to state a good case right there.
Morgan colliding with Abby Dahlkemper. She goes down. Looks like she had the wind knocked out of her. Referee holding off and bringing the trainer out. Alex Morgan is up, and she's okay. Gets a round of applause from the big crowd. There's a lot of number 13 jerseys in Rhino Stadium tonight. Morgan, who was traded from Portland along with Kaylin Kyle to Orlando in exchange for the number 1 picks in the 2015 and 16 NWSL draft. Also throw in an international spot for the next 2 years. Morgan married to Orlando City's Servando Carrasco, making her living now in the same town as her husband, beautiful Orlando City. We have a 1-0 scoreline and a giveaway here as Edmonds and Orlando look to take advantage. Edmonds chips into the box. Spencer off her chest. They were 3-on-1 there, and a bad giveaway almost makes this one level.
Yeah, it's a bad giveaway there by Kennedy. It's a miscommunication between Mewis and Kennedy, and they're trying to hash it out. Kennedy looking for Mewis. She's saying, hey, just give the ball back to Dahlkemper. Let's make this simple. Mewis runs out of the space. Edmonds picks it off. A nice little left-footed pass right there. And really, Jazz Spencer has to do a better job with that. She had plenty of time to bring it down, and I thought that was a miscommunication between Evans and Spencer. Jazz Spencer's going to want that one back for sure.
Looking at Edmonds, one of the 7 former Flash players, not accustomed to seeing her in that middle of the field.
No, you see her playing a role just like Jaylene Hinkle on that outside where she was just that overlapping back, constantly getting into the attack. And obviously Sermani sees something a little bit different than Aaron Line saw in her. And really Edmonds now playing in that midfield role, attacking midfield role. She's a distributor, spraying the ball from left to right. And that's a nice ball. She's gotten an assist to Morgan this year. And she hit a cracker 3 weeks ago for a 1-0 win against Houston. From about 22 yards out, she puts it into the far upper 90.
Edmonds coming over to Orlando along with Becky Edwards. Quick throw in, Whitteman. Here is Edmonds. Under the near side, Catley. Eddie all over her. Edmonds, a little shove from behind, no call. Flash will play on McDonald. And Presley with a strong step wins it.
Well, you talk about strong, and it's Alloway and Presley playing those two center back positions against Williams and McDonald. And this is something that the Western New York Flash haven't really seen this year. Two center backs that are as big and strong as McDonald and Williams. And when you talk about set pieces, really, the Western New York Flash is so dangerous on set pieces, corner kicks, balls from about 30 yards out being floated into the box, and they're winning everything. It's not going to happen this game. This Orlando Pride team is a little bit bigger than most teams in the NWSL.
We are in the 8th minute. Flash, a 1-0 lead. Doniak from McDonald in the 3rd minute. Another bad giveaway, middle of the field. Whitteman. Will Orlando make him pay this time? Still Whitteman. Morgan, top of the 18, on her left, goes down in the box, and no call made. Referee says goal kick for the Flash.
Yeah, and you know that Dahlkemper is all over Morgan. That's the second interaction that they've had. That was really a tough battle. And you could see Sermani looking for the call, just looking at the fourth official. He's looking for someone to talk to, but I don't think anyone's listening. He just waves his hands, and that was pretty close right there. I think Dahlkemper and Morgan got tangled up. No real dispute there by Morgan. She's just coming back a little bit slowly.
No PK call. Tom Sermani not happy at all as he's still up and off the bench on the Orlando sideline.
And if you talk about one of the keys to this match for Western New York in McDonald and Williams, one of the keys for Orlando is to make sure Morgan gets the ball as much as possible. And the Western New York Flash have to prevent that ball, deny that ball to Alex Morgan as much as possible.
Presley out of play. Catley can't keep it inbound, and it'll be Elizabeth Eddy coming over. Get this one into play for the Western New York Flash. 2-1 on home turf. Back to Dahlkemper. Doniak. Williams. Mewis, a low left-footed shot. Harris takes a good look at that one.
Yeah, and those two very familiar with each other. Both of them coming from the U.S. national team camp. Samantha Mewis getting the ball, and again, it's Doniak finding space and looking for her teammates. A nice little layback there by Williams, and it's an okay strike there by Samantha Mewis. She would like to get a little bit more on that, but those two very familiar with each other. Harris knew that she was shooting all the way.
McDonald. Hahn. Outside for Speck. Belanger gets there before her. Spencer battles with her former teammate Hinkle. Long ball, no one there. Kennedy. Up and out of play. That'll be a throw-in for Orlando, and actually the flag will come up for offside. And a restart coming up for Alloway.
Yeah, it looks like Meredith Speck was in an offside position when the ball was initially played.
Alloway, another of the international players from the Australian national team, drives this one down the far side.
Coach Sermani still looking for an explanation about the tangle up between Morgan and Dahlkemper. Having a discussion with the fourth. You know, sometimes you want to say, hey, if that's not going to be a penalty kick, what is then?
Mewis.
That's pretty close for me, right?
We'll take a good look at that one on the post-game show for sure. The 1-2. Eddy. And Eddy will win nothing. It'll be a goal kick for Orlando. Coming off a 2-0 loss May the 28th at Kansas City. This is their third game of 4 straight away. 1-1 at this point. And they're behind the 8 ball early in this one.
Well, you got to remember, when Orlando's playing Kansas City, they've got 6 players on international duty. So although you have such a strong team, as an expansion draft, as an expansion team, the expansion draft was very nice to you, and you have 6 internationals on your team but they're on international duty, and you lose 2-0 while they're all away. Where the Western New York Flash, they lose Mewis, and they lost Hinkle.
Ooh.
And Williams and McDonald really stepped up in that match. Speck, Donyak, great match against Boston last match to really step up for that 4-0 win. So you're coming off of a 4-0 win, and now Orlando gets their 6 internationals back, and they're coming off of a 2-0 loss.
Good ball from Monica. And how about Jasmine Spencer? Great hustle there, battling with Kennedy and Hinkle. Referee will blow the whistle. Here's a look at it. As we also saw Tom Sermani just glancing down the sideline.
Yeah, it's a good ball there by Monica. It just kind of hangs up a little bit too high for her. And Spencer trying to get there, trying to get between her two defenders. The only thing she could do is get fouled. And it's not a bad place to get a foul.
Catley, Alloway taking a look at this one. Referee will push the flash wall back. A good bit of distance here on this one for Orlando. Facing 4 in the wall. Alloway, Catley discuss it.
Well, you got your right footer and you got your left footer. Both Australians here. Going to have a good look at it.
Alloway, shot. Oh, and tipped over the bar nicely by Eckerstrom.
Not a bad shot there by Alloway. Could have had a little bit more on it, but a great save there by Eckerstrom as that ball is going into the far upper 90 from her. And Alloway with a good shot here. She tries to bring it down. Eckerstrom has it covered. Nice save. And for me right here, Orlando's got 2 out here. Western New York Flash have to have 2. That makes it too easy for Orlando. The Western New York Flash have to bring another player. Otherwise, it's 2v1, and they may think about doing it again.
Another corner kick. They'll go short.
And sure, why not? It's a short corner. You're playing against one player. Makes it way too easy.
Edmonds, Spencer, tees it up, fires right at the keeper. Orlando knocking on the door.
Western New York Flash cannot leave 2 players at that corner for the short corner. They have to get another player out there.
One time okay, twice
well,
not so sure.
Well, one time you're not paying attention. The second time you better be paying attention.
Absolutely.
But you saw Donyak looking to the bench like, hey, don't we need another player here?
Into the box. Whitteman. Still Whitteman. Left foot. Blocked there. Picked up again by Catley. Into the box. The header. One hop and out of play. It'll be harmless there for the Western New York Flash. Who'll be back in action on Friday night when the Portland Thorns come here to Rhino Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff, while Orlando will be in Washington 1 week from tonight to take on the Washington Spirit. We played last night a 1-1 draw at Boston. Washington scored in the 13th minute. Boston on a PK in the 15th minute. Good crowd, over 4,000 in Boston. As the goal kick is played through midfield, Whitteman knocks Hahn off the ball, looking for Spencer, and Dahlkemper will take no chances.
And you talk about these 2 teams' next 2 matches. That's something that these 2 teams have not been successful at, and beating teams at the top of the table. And if you're going to be at the top of the table, you've got to beat the teams at the top of the table. So really, Western New York Flash and Orlando, this is their first test tonight, as these 2 teams, both 4-3 with 12 points, and Chicago with 14, Portland and Washington with 13. One of these 2 teams, if they win tonight, will be at the top of the table, but they have to start beating the other 3 teams in Chicago, Portland, and Washington.
Well, you mentioned it. A win tonight for either Orlando or Western New York, pending some other results, could see one of these teams at the top of the table. A lot of soccer still to be played in this one and throughout the season.
Yeah, tonight, the other game in action tonight, that game's not going to mean anything. Both those teams are below Western New York and Orlando.
And
but
Sky Blue and KC.
But tomorrow, the other 3 teams above them are in action.
Back to Harris. Played for the Flash during the WPS season. WPS goalkeeper of the year in 2011 has to hurry off her line and clear it away from that high pressure that Paul Riley has brought into this team.
And that's a big win for KC against Orlando last week, getting their first win of the season. A team that's lost a lot of players from one of their championship seasons last year, and now they get their first win. So you got to see what's going to happen with KC. Are they going to start rolling and getting into action?
18th minute, 1-0. Flash leading Orlando. Harris will take her time and pop it up to midfield. Morgan with the flick for Spencer. It's Hinkle who gets there first. Williams, the Week 7 Player of the Week. Williams on the far side. Low cross. Blocked by Monica. And Alloway will clear it up the middle. Giving away Mewis. Doniak, Mewis. Referee says play on.
Yeah, I think that's a good tackle there by Monica. Mewis tries to squeeze right in between Monica and Evans there. Good tackle there by Monica.
Ooh, not a bad idea from Mewis to McDonald.
You look at that matchup between Mewis and Hahn, and they're playing against Evans, Monica, and Edmonds. So there's an advantage for Orlando in the center of the park. But how do Western New York Flash play? Really, it's like a horseshoe. If you start looking at heat maps of how this team plays, you're seeing it. They work up the left and they work up the right. They know that their strength's not in the center of the park. They're looking for a number 10 or a number 6. They just don't have it. So utilize the outsides as much as possible.
Heat maps, I like that. Good analogy. Eddie, open here on the near side.
Well,
still Eddie.
Again, there's an example. Dahlkemper's using the outside of the park in order to get the ball forward.
Not sure if that was a shot or a pass by Doniak, the 22-year-old. Picked up her first in the 3rd minute from McDonald. Also McDonald's first assist on the season. It's Harris to get this one in play.
And if you want to talk about these two teams, the team that scores first usually wins, and we've been seeing that success throughout the league.
Flash are 3-0 when scoring first. And throughout the league, the team that scores first, 24-3-3. Not that it matters tonight, but Orlando, 4-1 when they score the first goal.
Yeah, they're gonna try to reverse those stats as much as possible tonight.
Catley will stride over to the far side. Get this restart put back into play.
Well, this will be an in-swinger with her left peg, and you've got some strong players up top there in Presley and Alloway. And this is where set pieces for both these teams kind of equal out, and it's just who's going to battle harder.
Good delivery. Spencer, good block from Hinkle. Catley, blocked by Williams. Some time for Catley. Left-footed service into the box. Presley flicks it on. Straight up in the air. Presley again. Morgan is open off the chest. Just couldn't get it to sit. Whitteman. Edmonds. High chip. Eckerstrom's off her line. A nasty collision. And into the back of the net, Jasmine Spencer. But did the whistle blow?
And I don't know if the referee knew what to call.
I did not hear a whistle.
I did not hear a whistle, and I thought Eckerstrom came out. There were 3 players going after it together.
Well, here's a good look at it, Mike. What do we have?
And here's it, Tony Presley keeping this ball alive for Orlando, and it gets out here to Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan couldn't get down quick enough for her, and pops it, and it gets popped back out. Edmonds puts it back in the mix, and it's Kennedy Eckerstrom, and I don't know who that player there was for. And it was Alloway still up there. And I think it was a good challenge right there by all 3 players. And the referee.
He's having a deep conversation with Christopher Trotti. Our referee is Elvis Mamatovic.
And Morgan going backwards like it's a goal.
And let's see what he says. No goal. He's waved it off. No goal.
Oh, he had a.
Arm is up. It'll be indirect coming out for Western New York. And I think Tom Sermani may just lose it as he's talking once again with the fourth official. He has waved it off after discussing with his assistant on the far side.
Well, I mean, that's a very indecisive ref right there on what he should call. I did not hear a whistle when the collision happened.
He didn't say goal or no goal.
And then Jasmine Spencer got involved. Was Jasmine Spencer offsides? There was no call there. He had a long discussion with his AR, and then he walked another 12 yards before he called it off.
Wow. Fans in Orlando, I can hear you from here in New York.
I thought that was clean by all three players.
Thought so too.
Going up, I thought Alloway went straight up.
Straight up, yeah.
Eckerstrom came out clean. Kennedy came in clean. If anything, it was Kennedy coming in from the side.
A bit of a break there for the Flash. Morgan cuts it back.
Well, for Orlando, you're hoping that this changes the flow of the match for them and that they can get a little bit more offense here against this Western New York Flash team.
Kennedy is sent back onto the field. 11v11. Speck. Williams. Pushes to space, and look at the speed.
And look at McDonald. Look at the run that McDonald's making all the way from midfield.
Still Williams.
But it's good defense there by Alloway, saying, hey, you're not going to be able to go through me. You might be able to beat me by speed, but I've got the angle on you.
It's not really even a move that she put on Belanger. It's just push it into space and it doesn't explode.
That's all it takes, and that's what you try to teach young players. Like, listen, if you go at full speed, you don't need 75 step overs in order to get past the player. You go at them with speed, no matter how fast you are, you push it past them, and you just keep going. You got to explode, and that's what Lynn Williams. If you're a young player and you're watching anyone, you watch Lynn Williams. When she makes a move and she pushes it past it, there's an explosion every single time.
Belanger, the Canadian international, 6 or 7 steps behind Lynn Williams after that touch. Presley with that powerful delivery. Able to push it deep into the Flash end of the field, but it's picked up by Hahn.
Western New York Flash, one of the hardest working teams in this league. And Orlando is trying to nullify that. They're not trying to match the work rate. They know they cannot match the work rate of this young team. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to slow them down by playing their style of soccer. And that style is possession, switch the point of attack, and get forward. And they're doing it right now.
Into the box, headed away, looking for Morgan. It's Kennedy. Gets there first. Picked up now by Monica. Belanger. Back to Monica. Pickpocket there from Hinkle. Now Hinkle turns on the Jets.
Again, there's another player that is so dangerous going forward, but she has not been part of this match that much. She's been really isolated on that left-hand side. They're not getting the ball over to that left-hand side. Western New York Flash has been working up the right-hand side a lot more. I think you got to get Jaylene Hinkle involved a lot more on that left side.
Evans, Morgan, still Morgan. Morgan, a left-footed shot blocked. Gets the rebound. Doesn't get the cross off. Doniak. Eddie. Picked up by Catley. Evans. Edmonds. Far side. Belanger, a long shot from distance, and the possession that Orlando worked on during that bye week, showing there. Reports out of Orlando, they worked on possession and build-up play, and that was a good example of it there.
Well, that's their style of soccer, is to possess. They're a possession-oriented team. They're not playing. They don't play as direct as the Western New York Flash. They cannot keep up with the work rate of the Western New York Flash, so they have to play that possession style and make the Western New York Flash work a lot more on defense by chasing the ball from the left side of the park to the right side of the park and back.
It's funny, look at the reports out of both camps this week. We mentioned Orlando's possession. For Western New York, the theme was create and finish opportunities with that high-pressure style. So you nailed it right on the head.
Well, and that's what Paul Riley is working on. Lynn Williams and Jess McDonald, they hit probably every post and crossbar in their first 4 or 5 matches of this season. And then all of a sudden, he worked on them nonstop. Every single type of finish in the 18, from far out, crosses, free kicks, set pieces, 5-2. They win 4-0. They start building confidence, and he's continuing to do that same thing every single week, week in, week out. So he's trying to make sure that they maintain their confidence and stay in form, the same form that they've been in.
And that 5-2 win was very impressive over Sky Blue FC on May 21st. Jill Ellis was in attendance that night. And then a 4-0 win. So 9-2. You add this one, 10-2 in their last 3 home games. Up to this point, they've outscored the opposition. Alloway back to Harris. Presley.
And how about it for Eckerstrom? She's a 3rd-round draft pick. D'Angelo getting that first one. Eckerstrom, after D'Angelo breaks her wrist, Eckerstrom gets the call and gets her first shutout as a rookie in her professional career.
And with D'Angelo out, the Flash had to do some shopping, and they picked up Caitlin Rowland. Traded her for 2 second-round picks in the 2017 NWSL draft. And the 22-year-old from UCLA reunites with Mewis, Dahlkemper, and Taylor Smith from those college days. And from what we're hearing, she should compete for that starting job.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when you say that they gave up 2 college draft picks in 2017, that kind of, you know, if you're a Western New York Flash fan, you know what this Western New York Flash team has done in the last 2 years. 7 draft picks getting considerable amount of time, including Eckerstrom now. That's number 8, getting considerable amount of time on the pitch. And what Paul Riley, Aaron Lines, and really their technical advisor, Charlie Nemo, have done is tremendous in really building this team. And what Paul Riley's done particularly is create an environment for these players to develop and learn and compete against some of the top teams in the world.
Caitlin Rowland coming over from Kansas City. 3 games played, a 1.33 goals against average this season. A player who is coming this way for those draft picks in 2017. This one's out of play as the possession given back to Orlando. Spencer was down, took a knock, but she's up and at it again.
I mean, Joe, if you look at this Western New York Flash team right now, and you're Tom Sermani, you're saying they have 8 players on the field that are either rookies. No, I'm sorry, 9 players on the field that are either rookies or second-year players in the league. I mean, just absolutely amazing. What they're doing right now, being 4-3 and competing against the Orlando Pride, potentially on the verge of being 5-3. It's very, very early, obviously, but
30th minute is the exact time. 1-0 Western New York. And the second meeting ever between these 2 teams is Orlando Pride under the umbrella of that huge wave of success.
You know, Joe,
Orlando City brought to Central Florida.
Yeah, Joe, I just said 9 players, and I forgot about Kennedy, who's probably one of the most experienced in terms of professional soccer from Australia, but she's the youngest. She's only 20 years old out there. So the one that with all the experience out there is Jess McDonald. And so you got 10 players out there in their first or second year in their professional career. I mean, what a joy for Jess McDonald just to be around this environment of these players that just want to learn not only from Paul Riley, but learn from her, and here she is.
And here she is, McDonald into the 18 with a touch, and saved there by Harris. An out of play corner kick coming up here for Western New York in the 31st minute.
And what a brilliant ball played to Jess McDonald right there. And it's Samantha Mewis, the U.S. national team player. What a great ball. And Jess McDonald, I say it all the time, they're going to want this one back. And Jess McDonald she gets herself in front of Alloway, and she just can't get that ball in the right position for her to tuck it away into the far post. Great save by Ashlyn Harris to stand her ground and to prevent McDonald from putting that one away. But that speed by Jess McDonald and Lynn Williams, that dynamic duo up top for Western New York, just tremendous.
32nd minute, far side corner into the mix, up and out of play. Coming back on a goal kick here now for Orlando.
Paul Riley's not going to be happy about that because he knows that this Western New York Flash team has been dangerous on set pieces. They're getting goals in the run of play, getting opportunities in the run of play. But set pieces, Orlando's a bigger, stronger team than most of the other teams in the league. but they got to challenge him. You can't give away set pieces like that, and that's a corner kick that you can't give away.
Harris, former St. Louis and Washington Freedom keeper, looking into a direct sun. Pops this one down the middle of the field. Mewis wins the header up in the air. Second chance again. It's Whitteman. Back to Harris. Belanger has struggled on that far side. It's Speck battling with her. Belanger played 45 minutes on June the 4th in a 2-0 loss against Brazil for the Canadian national team.
And Speck, who got a start last match, got her first career professional point. Great match against Boston last week. She's been really going at Belanger. Just a lot of energy, and it's been Speck on that side. You're not hearing Hinkle getting involved. And here's another set piece, really, for the Western New York Flash with that long throw by McDonald.
Flicked into space, headed away by Edmonds. Belanger gets knocked down. McDonald comes up with the ball, chips it into the box. And Catley, calm and cool, flicks it out of the 18. And Whitteman called for the foul, taking down Doniak, I'm sorry. 34th minute, free kick.
And that's funny. Whitteman, number 10, she got selected in the first round, and then Doniak, who's number 11 in the college draft this year, selected in the second round. So those two going 1-for-1 right there, and that's a battle, saying, hey, I should have been number 10.
Doniak is down and now back up, and a free kick here for Hinkle. Facing one in the wall. Chips into the box. Top of the 18. Oh, Hahn didn't get all of it. Swerving and stays in play for Williams. Belanger marking her. Spins away, gets the service in. The Flash having a lot of opportunity coming from that far side, where Jose Belanger defending Williams and Hinkle and Speck as well. Hinkle over to take the throw-in. Was in camp with the U.S. for their 2 games against Japan. 3-3 tie and a 2-0 win. Julie Johnson and Alex Morgan in that last one in Cleveland in front of over 23,000 fans. A record for a women's national team game in Ohio, as they prepare for the 2016 Olympic Games. And you and I were just talking, there's so much soccer that's being broadcast right now. Copa America, the Euros, NWSL, U.S. Open Cup starts again for the Rhinos on Wednesday. It's just amazing.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, every hour of the day I can be watching soccer. And then today I got stuck on the soccer fields coaching my under-11 boys. And
add that to the mix, right?
And we lost in penalty kicks in the championship.
Sorry to hear, my friend.
Hey, it's okay. It's all about development. They learn from it.
And they're going to call Dahlkemper.
And then tomorrow I'm going to miss the Euros again because I'm coaching my under-15 girls.
That doesn't end.
It doesn't stop. There's soccer everywhere. Youth soccer, pro soccer.
Restart. Quick one there from Orlando. Referee's going to bring it back.
And we talk about the development of youth soccer here in Western New York and the Western New York Flash, bringing the ECNL, the top girls league in the country, and also looking to get the U.S. Soccer Federation Girls Development Academy. And just, you know, we talk about how this program of the Western New York Flash, they're building players, they're bringing players up from the draft. They want to start building some homegrown players right out of here in Western New York and building them right through the program, from their youth programs all the way up to the pro teams.
Another foul called on the Flash. Catley will take this one 10 yards closer to the Western New York goal. There's the whistle. Swerving ball from Catley. A good deep one. Up and over everybody, though. Everyone crashing hard, and it's played back to Belanger.
Man, if I'm Catley, I mean, the one person I'm looking for is Presley. I mean, she's just so dangerous in the air.
Whitteman. Shot blocked. Again. Spencer Heads it down, no one there for Orlando.
That could be like the third or fourth shot blocked by Dahlkemper. She's getting herself right in the way every single time.
Alloway. Good move by Evans. Shot. Tipped away by Eckerstrom. Rebound. Spencer shot and cleared off the line by Kennedy. Chipped back into the box. Orlando's not done yet. And Kennedy once again will clear it out of danger. Wow. 38th minute, Orlando almost gets the equalizer. It's Kennedy who saves the day.
And it's Maddie Evans. What a turn by Maddie Evans at the top of the 18 to get that initial shot off. Great save by Eckerstrom. And Spencer always staying with the play. When she was with Western New York, you always saw her crashing the goal and staying with the play and attacking every single rebound. Eckerstrom with another save, and Kennedy saving it off the line. But still, it was Eckerstrom who got her paw right on that ball, her left paw, to prevent that from almost going in.
Here's a look at that last flurry of activity from Orlando. We'll get a quick look at it.
Well, Orlando's still pressing here right now.
Here's the shot. As this one's cleared off the near side again, but here's that last look of pressure.
Yeah, and it's good stuff right there. And here it is. This ball comes outside. Oh, we'll see it afterwards.
Because Morgan serving into the box. Eckerstrom is there. Late half pressure from Orlando.
It's Maddie Evans with that turn that creates that entire play.
Catley, it's got to do better there. Throwing at midfield for Elizabeth Eddy. Mewis comes over to speak with Paul Riley. Gets a quick word in with the former coach of the Portland Thorns. That screaming you're hearing is, we just put our picture up on the video board. I wish. It's the t-shirt toss. 40th minute, Western New York 1, Orlando 0. Alloway. No one on the end of it. It's Kennedy. Hahn. Doniak on the near side will run out of space. Maybe a throw-in coming up here for the Orlando Pride.
And look how quickly the Western New York Flash adjust to try to close this down and prevent Orlando from getting it out. Everyone adjusted so quickly to the right-hand side of the field. And sure enough, put a pressure, lock them in, you get the ball back. And now Orlando's under tremendous pressure.
Doniak whips it into the box. Nobody on the back end. It's Williams who chases this one down.
Nice ball by Doniak there. Williams crashing a little bit too fast, too furious. Doniak putting a little bit too much on it.
Into the box, a poor clearance. McDonald still has it. Squares up. Shot blocked there by Presley. And this time it's a good clearance from Catley.
Good defense there by Tony Presley, just maintaining her stance.
Eddy turns the Jets on, but Catley's there first to spin away to Whitteman. Whitteman pressured, back to Presley. High clearance on the near side. Dahlkemper.
And you're seeing that high pressure by the Western New York Flash, not allowing Orlando to get out.
A little shove there from Williams against Alloway, and it'll be coming out for Orlando.
And you'll see here, Dahlkemper gets the ball back, and she'll put it right back into the play. And you see right here, Williams getting involved. She doesn't really go up for it. She just knocks Alloway over. That's why she didn't go up and challenge it.
Here is Alloway. Spencer spins away from Hinkle. Heads it forward for Morgan. Morgan back in front for Spencer. The shot, it's right at Eckerstrom. 42nd minute opportunity denied.
And that entire development, beautiful. Really, Alloway with a really pretty ball here to Spencer. Spencer and Hinkle 1v1. Spencer always challenging, wins the header. Morgan with a beautiful diagonal run. And then again, Spencer remaining with the play. Great ball by Morgan. Spencer just doesn't get enough on it to put that one in the back of the net. Spencer getting herself in the right positions, just not finishing.
There's Alloway again, looking for an option. Goes short this time to Presley. Presley, a two-time member of the Western New York Flash. Catley cuts inside. Whitteman. Evans. Belanger. There's the possession from Orlando, and Belanger, again, really tough first half, just loses track of the ball. Counterattack, McDonald down the middle. Into the 18, McDonald. Presley on her back, and she takes the shot. And not even near the net.
Oh, and I think McDonald's has to really take another touch there. And what another nice ball played right here. Look at that long ball. Great run by McDonald. I think Ashlyn Harris has to continue to come out. Ashlyn Harris has to cover that space behind Presley and Alloway. I think that's Ashlyn Harris's ball, and she makes a decision to go back. And McDonald gets on it. Presley tries to stay with the play, but prevents McDonald from getting a good shot.
And Mewis whistles one wide. 44th minute. The long ball to McDonald, shot wide. Another chance seconds after that. Off the frame.
I mean, for Orlando, really playing good possession, trying to nullify the work rate of this Western New York Flash team. Just you gave up a goal in the first 5 minutes. You cannot come out on the road and give up a goal in the first 5 minutes of a game.
They have responded, though. They've had opportunities. The no-goal call there in the box. The clearance off the line. Spencer with a good look there just moments ago.
Potential penalty kick.
Yeah.
Morgan and Dahlkemper get tangled up. And you can see they just move the ball around the pitch.
Alloway in the 44th minute. Now minute number 45. Picked up by Eddie, and Mewis spins, but Evans gets a poke on it. Mewis slides back for the Flash. Hahn. Eddie. Mewis. Doniak. Double teamed. Whitteman comes away with it. Looking for options. Finds Evans. Belanger. One-time cross. Cleared by Dahlkemper, and they're going to call a handball at the top of the 18. A dangerous late free kick here for Orlando.
And you can see Morgan's on top of it. Catley and Alloway are making their way. They're all going to have a discussion. Presley likes it. She's even coming up. They're all saying, listen, this is 22 yards out. We all want this.
Flash will be lined up just behind the PK spot.
And again, it's Catley and Alloway on top of the ball. Catley with the left peg, Alloway with the right. Morgan trying to find out what they're going to do so she can crash.
5 in the wall for Western New York. Here's the whistle. Catley, Alloway, the Australians from 22 yards away.
This is Catley.
Catley shot. Great save from Eckerstrom. And cleared away by the Flash defense.
But like I said, where was Morgan right after that rebound? She was the only one from Orlando in the 6-yard box waiting for that ball to pop out. She's like, I want to know who's hitting it, where you're hitting it, and that's where I'm going to be for the rebound. And she was right there. Eckerstrom just parries it a little bit to her right-hand side to make sure Morgan has no chance.
Evans. And Hahn. She's called for the foul, but they're going to call Speck as well for a yellow card in the 45th minute. So Western New York goes in the book.
And that confuses me. I don't know why he made that call as Orlando had possession of the ball. And right here you can see Evans has the ball. She knocks it. Edmonds knocks it back over. Specs gets stuck in.
Yeah.
But still, Orlando has possession of it. You got to let that play go on and wait till that play, see how that play develops. I think Sermani's not happy about that either.
Yeah, definitely a yellow card, but the
you can hold
continuation could have definitely been a key there.
And you're going to watch Edmonds.
Another swerving ball into the box. Whitteman. And broken up by Dahlkemper. And there was no stoppage time in this first half. Was there 1 minute? 1 minute of stoppage time, and it went by quick.
Yeah, and then ended up to go 2 minutes. But you saw a couple fouls right there. And you look at the Orlando Pride, and still, great possession. They're playing their style of the game. They're trying to nullify the work rate of the Western New York Flash, and they still have Becky Edwards, Sarah Hagan, Sanderson, Kyle, options off the bench that can really add to this attack for the Orlando Pride.
All right, so after 45 minutes of play, Western New York with Mackenzie Doniak in the 3rd minute, that early strike, it holds on, but a lot of pressure coming from Orlando throughout that first half. Flash hanging on to a slim 1-0 lead after 45 minutes of play at Rhino Stadium. We'll go to break and come back with second half action from downtown Rochester. 1-0 Western New York leading Orlando. Both teams making their way back onto the field here at Rhinos Stadium in Rochester, New York. I'm Joe Giuliano, along with Mike Kerms after 45 minutes of play. It is Western New York 1, Orlando nothing. Goal from the home side in the 3rd minute. Doniak, her first of the season from McDonald. Her first assist on the season. Doniak, the 22-year-old, her first professional goal, actually. And that's where we stand right now after 45 minutes of play. But, Mike, you're dissecting some of these stats, and shots in favor of Orlando. They had some opportunities there, really. 3-4 very good looks.
Yeah, Western New York Flash, they have 7 shots versus Orlando's 9. But shots on goal, it's all Orlando. And really keeping Britt Eckerstrom really, really busy. She's making a lot of saves, yeah, and she's giving up a lot of rebounds. But those are not easy shots to save. And really the save off the line by Kennedy is the one that could have tied the game 1-1. But it's the Western New York Flash on top. Orlando giving up a goal in the first 5 minutes, not ready, on the road, allowing Western New York Flash to put pressure on right off the bat. And Doniak with a brilliant goal into the lower corner.
Sun is setting at the net to our right. Eckerstrom will have that sunshine to deal with here as we begin half number 2. Orlando huddling up. Flash slowly starting to appear out of the dressing room. Don't forget, next home game for Western New York is on June the 17th, 7 p.m. The Portland Thorns come to town. For tickets, visit wnyflash.com. As the Thorns and Western New York kick off at 7 p.m. Again, this is a 7-game homestand for Western New York. This is the 3rd match of that 7-game homestand for the Flash. Abby Ursig, by the way, warming up, and a couple of hard sprints there. We'll see if she gets the nod here to start in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that she's going to be involved right away. And I'm thinking that Paul Riley's going to want to tighten up that defense a little bit, that center of the park, and maybe put Abby Ursig in that holding midfielder role, that number 6 role, and see if maybe a 4-3-3 they can get a little bit more success against the 4-3-3 of the Orlando Pride.
Orlando, same 11 as they exited the pitch with. It'll be a kickoff for Western New York as the rest of the troops come back onto the field. This is the second meeting of the season, second all-time meeting between these two teams. First one at Camping World Stadium. I'm sure you've known that as the Citrus Bowl. That was on May 14th, a 1-0 win for Orlando City.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's going to be Speck or Doniak that's coming off, but Ursig's definitely coming on. I see Hahn involved, and it may be Speck that's coming off. Doniak got that goal.
Ursig ties up the boots, and we'll see exactly who is coming off for Abby Ursig, the 26-year-old, the current captain of New Zealand's international side. There's the referee waiting to get this one underway. It looks like it is going to be number 25, Mary Speck, who is coming off. Good call, Mr. Kerms.
Yeah, and I think Paul Riley wants to go to that 4-3-3. Ursig really to tighten up the center of the park. You've got Edmonds, Monica, and Evans on the other side, and towards the end of that half, Evans starting to see a lot more space, a lot more freedom, and you're going to put Ursig at that holding midfield role with Hahn and Mewis in front of her, and you'll see that 4-3-3. Williams will float outside, and Doniak will float outside, play a little bit higher, so you see a 4-3-3, 4-5-1 type formation by the Western New York Flash.
Second half underway here in Rochester as Eckerstrom gets it back from Kennedy. It is 1-0 as we begin the second 45. Little shove in the back by Catley, and it'll be a throw-in coming up, or a free kick coming up for Western New York Flash. Catley, who appeared on the cover of the Australian edition of FIFA 16, alongside of Lionel Messi. Probably doesn't want to be featured with a push like that, as it's right at midfield for Dahlkemper. High to the top of the 18. Mewis flicks it on, and she gets blasted into from behind. And it's Alloway was told to calm down. And it'll be a free kick here. Here's a look at that last challenge.
Yeah, so it's a free kick from Donyak, putting that ball in the mix. It's Mewis who goes up and she wins it. And Alloway really just going through the player. She's got her hands up like, hey, I just went up with her and challenged her. Mewis took a hard hit.
Dahlkemper. Kennedy. A little discussion here for the Flash, who are 3-0 and opening up with the first goal of the game. Looking to get to 15 points and to the top of the NWSL standings. Dahlkemper facing 4 in the wall. Steps in, fires, just on top of the net. Good look there from Dahlkemper to start the second half.
It's a really good look there by Dahlkemper, and you can see Ashlyn Harris. I don't know what happened, but she's moving a little bit gingerly right now, a little slowly. And you'll see right here, you'll see Dahlkemper take this shot. I don't know if Harris, I don't know if she hit the bar wrong or she landed improperly, but she went backwards and then she just moved really slowly afterwards. Yeah, and you can see her, she's stretching something out there. You're hoping that she didn't pull anything.
Backup keeper is Aubrey Bledsoe, the 24-year-old, who actually debuted in that 2-0 loss against Kansas City with Harris out. But looks like she gets the nod to continue. Trainer goes back to the bench. And Harris will fight through here in the second half.
Yeah, it looks like she's trying to fight through that left ankle. And you'll see where she plants here, how it is.
Morgan.
Yeah, she's still working out that left ankle as she feels it. Sometimes you just got to walk it off, and as a goalie, you don't get to walk it off or jog it off as much. Sitting in goal as a player, usually you can run it off or jog it off.
And Williams takes a swipe there. Belanger goes down, and will be coming up on a free kick here for Alloway in Orlando.
Foul play the first 3 minutes of this second half.
Ursig. Mewis. Evans, the former Boston Breaker, gets a foot on it, but it's picked up by McDonald. Hahn. Eddy. Crosses. Presley. Slams it out of there. Edmonds. Back to Harris. Stumbles on the ball and almost gets it taken away by McDonald.
Oh, yeah, McDonald and Williams putting that pressure on, but the rest of the Western New York Flash are nowhere to be found. Once you see McDonald going and you see Harris stumble on top of the ball, the entire team's got to get forward.
Hahn. Ursig. Oh, good ball outside for Eddy. Perfectly weighted.
Yeah, and it's a great run by Eddy too. That's the way, and that's how these outside backs get forward.
Eddy's low cross left there and cleared away by Edmonds. It was Doniak with the dummy run, and Williams almost got on the end of it.
Yeah, just not on the same page. But you got to love that ball. Like you said, properly weighted by Ursig. She switches the point of attack. Eddy gets forward, screams the ball across. Eddy's forward here. She's just looking, does that one move. Here's a little bit of explosion, and then crossing it. And Donyak with the dummy, but no one's there except Kristen Edmonds.
A cluster inside the 18. Hinkle's delivery. McDonald with the header, and it's a little bit high. 50th minute, Flash in the first 5 minutes of this half, dominating.
Yeah, we talked about how set pieces aren't going to be a big factor here, but here's that cross, and everyone's crashing, and this is a good battle by both teams. No one really had an advantage. And it's McDonald who gets on the end of it.
Harris still stretching out that left ankle.
How about that header by that Russian forward at the end of the England-Russian match to put that ball in the upper 90?
Was told not to mention that to Paul Riley. I don't think he'd be too happy.
Oh, I better not talk about it then. The Liverpool England native there.
Hinkle battles with Evans. Jaylene back to Kennedy. Williams. Hahn. Far side for Doniak. Cuts it inside. Presley steps in to knock it away. Monica. Jose Belanger. Trying to toe poke it forward, broken up by Kennedy. Dahlkemper. Oh, good spin move from Eddie. Gets away from Whitteman, but gives the pass to Edmonds. All that good work.
Yeah, but you can see how tight the center of the park is now with Ertic flooding the center of the park and not allowing Orlando to build through the middle.
This one out of play. Spencer unable to keep that one going. Throwing here for Jaylene Hinkle. He's called into that U.S. camp for a 3-3 draw against Japan and a 2-0 win. Didn't feature, but some top-level training for Hinkle and Mewis. Good tackle from Alloway on Williams.
That's the only thing she got because Williams was on her. That ball was just a little bit more forward. That was all Lynn Williams. And again, you could see Jess McDonald getting forward. They're going to try to hit Mewis here. It's just like a set piece. Monica all over Mewis, trying to double team her in front and back. And McDonald's going to be trying to hit her for that flick on. Ertic also up there.
McDonald goes short instead. Got the heavy bandage on. The knee. Eddie's one-time shot right at Harris. Good, powerful shot and a good save to give up no rebound.
Yeah, and that's a set piece that Jess McDonald, everyone's looking for that long throw to Sam Mewis or Ertic, and it comes back to Hinkle. Hinkle with a nice cross. They clear it right out to Lizzetti, and she puts this one on a rope, but it's right at Ashlyn Harris, and Ashlyn Harris sucks that one up pretty easily.
Alloway. Near side, Belanger. Evans to Spencer. Back to Evans now. Jasmine Spencer. Outside to Edmonds. Still Edmonds, pushing it central. Edmonds on her left. Nope. Makes the pass instead. Mewis denies it. McDonald. Alloway coming back to help defensively.
Wow, and the Western New York Flash have to do better there. When you pick a ball off at the top of at 22 yards out, you've got to try to take advantage of a counterattack at that moment. And it's just too slow. They have to move that ball quicker out. It's an opportunity with three fast players, McDonald, Williams, and Mewis, to really get out with speed and counterattack.
So look at that last opportunity for Orlando. Foul was called there. As the substitution coming on now, first one of the game in the 54th minute. It's Leanne Sanderson coming on for Josie Belanger, who we thought had a tough night. Sanderson, the former Boston Breaker, also English international, helping England finish third at the 2015 Women's World Cup, is on for Belanger. And Orlando will shift. We'll talk about that momentarily. Doniak. Hahn doesn't get all of it. Gets another chance. Here's Sanderson's first touch. 2 goals, 1 assist on the season for Sanderson. Evans. Morgan. It'll be Spencer instead of the near side. Spencer crosses. Nobody on the back end. And it's Eddie. Taken back, though, by Evans. Cuts it back. Swerving shot in front, and Eckerstrom's got to make a diving save.
And Orlando's crashing again. And that starts all the way back with Leanne Sanderson. Hahn comes in for that shot, and Sanderson does that build-up, and that ball eventually gets out to Jazz Spencer. And Spencer with the cross just a little bit too long. And again, great stuff by Maddie Evans. It's just a little fake on her defender. And then she gets the shot off. Eckerstrom holds on to that one. It's a good thing that she didn't give up a rebound there because Spencer was all over it.
Here's Spencer now to Evans. Here's Sanderson. Back to Edmonds. Sanderson chipping it forward, looking for Morgan. It's Kennedy who breaks it up. Long ball looking for Doniak, and it's going to be Catley who gets there first. The Orlando Pride with possession. Team announced on October 20th, 2015. The team name was announced by Phil Rollins. The third NWSL franchise owned by an MLS team, joining Portland and Houston. Evans.
Yeah, and talking to Tom Sermani before the game, he's like, what a great organization from top to bottom and from left to right. Left to right meaning from the women's game to the men's game. Everybody's helping each other out all the time. And both teams on the men's side and the women's side, and now the boys' side and the girls' side, they're all working together as one, as just a true club from top to bottom and left to right.
The MLS club 3-3-7. They're 2-0-5 at home. They'll be playing June 18th. They're on a 20-day break between league fixtures in the MLS. It's Copa America taking place now. But here in Rochester, it's Williams pushing down the near side. A low cross. Knocked away by Presley. McDonald knocking on the door.
Great ball by Lynn Williams. Good run by McDonald, but even better tackle by Tony Presley.
Spencer.
But finally, Hinkle getting involved in the attack a little bit. For the Western New York Flash, she's got to get more involved into the attack. And Orlando starting to move the ball more, and you can see that triangle in the center of the park with Leanne Sanderson coming on. You see a little bit more of an attacking-minded Orlando Pride, and Maddie Evans and Leanne Sanderson at the top of that triangle, and really Monica sitting at that holding midfielder role. Kristen Edmonds moved back into that defensive role, into that outside back role.
Sanderson bringing some spark here, coming on in the 54th minute. Got her rebirth with the English national team under Mark Sampson after refusing to play for Hope Powell in the 2011 Women's World Cup. She's revitalized and looks good here early on. Harris far side out of play.
And Lynn Williams going against Kristen Edmonds is a little bit different of a different look. Lynn Williams attacking Belanger and Alloway. Lynn Williams is really owning that left-hand side in the first half and earlier in the second half. Edmonds, Sermani puts Edmonds there to try to shut that down.
Eddie's throwing, finds Doniak, gets it back to Eddie. Good touch from Ewis. Doniak, a 22-year-old out of Virginia, the two-time All-American, has the only goal coming way back in the 3rd minute. Eddie, Catley on the far side battle. Presley comes in to help out and clears it. Looking for Whitteman, who won't get there. It'll be the Flash picking up a throw-in.
I think Presley's done a really good job in the center back position there. She covers a lot of ground. She's preventing a lot of more opportunities that could have gone on Ashlyn Harris that haven't. She's been strong in the air.
There's McDonald's long throw-in into the box, and there is Presley, as Mike mentioned. Here's Sanderson. She's come on. Edmonds has gone back to the outside of defense where we have normally seen her play as a member of the Flash. Quick restart to Monica. The Brazilian played 90 minutes in the game against Canada, 2-0 win. Morgan pushing into the 18, 1v2. Morgan comes up with the ball. Still Morgan. Shot! Blocked there by Dahlkemper.
And on one side, we talked about on Presley. On the other side, it's been Dahlkemper.
Another block. Mewis this time on Sanderson.
But that all starts from Leanne Sanderson. There's a foul on Ertig. Ertig has a handball. Sanderson puts the ball down. That's the experience. She puts the ball down, and she plays right away. And she's trying to lift up this Orlando Pride team off the bench.
And it's Monica called for the foul.
Yeah, the Brazilian just getting a little bit frustrated, wants to get that ball. And here's that Here's that ball played to Alex Morgan. It's Kennedy. Just a little bit of stumble that she's just a tough player to handle. And Dahlkemper turns again. If Morgan does one more fake, Dahlkemper keeps turning her back on those shots. But she keeps deflecting them. She keeps turning her back on him, but she's deflecting and she's getting in the way.
Spencer, Kennedy battle on the far side, the near side, and Kennedy, the 20-year-old from Australia, a good slide tackle.
That's a pretty ball, Spencer. And here's that tackle by Kennedy again. I mean, just sticking with Spencer, and you know Spencer's got tremendous speed.
Back to live action here. It's out of play. Throwing here for Edmonds. The 29-year-old, 7th appearance of the season. Edmonds had a little hip flexor issue, but appears to be doing well here tonight. McDonald, good turn, gets around Alloway.
Great turn, and Alloway just doesn't have the speed. I think McDonald's got to go 1v1 on Presley and beat her as Alloway recovers great.
Outside, the flag comes up for offside. Offside there on Doniak, and the flash, a quick chance to spin forward, denied.
And that's a great play there and look at this move right here by McDonald, and nothing Alloway can do. Just a breakaway speed by McDonald. You want to see her just continue to go full speed. She just slows down, taking too many touches at Presley. And Doniak's got to do better. She's got to stay flat on that one. She just gets herself too excited, gets a little bit too high. She's got to stay flat. And maybe she was expecting it one touch earlier from McDonald. But McDonald, too many touches. Take less touches, go right at Presley. Take her on 1v1.
Tom Sermani is heated on the sidelines. On that restart, he was shouting out orders at Ashlyn Harris. She wasn't getting the message, and he kept getting more mad. He's had a tough one here tonight. His team has created opportunities, just haven't been able to find the back of the net. Whitteman. Evans. Good ball. Kennedy just gets ahead on it, slowing Morgan down just a bit. Morgan. Good footwork. Sanderson.
It's a great ball, but it's the dynamic runs from Morgan that really demand that ball. And she's actually dictating the play by that run. Maddie Evans had options on the outside to Edmonds and Spencer, but the demanding runs that Morgan makes really help dictate the play of where a player may play the ball.
Mewis is dumped by the triangle of purple, and it'll be a restart in the 64th minute for Western New York. Mewis still on the turf.
Yeah, it's Hinkle finding Mewis here. Mewis trying to take into the center park. She wants to switch the point of attack. She tries to explode here. Gets tangled up with Spencer just a little bit.
It's Kennedy to take it. 1 assist on the season, 8th appearance for Alana Kennedy. Driven to the 18. Alloway gets the head on it. Picked up by Williams. Ursig. Good win there by Presley.
Yeah, Presley having a really good game for the Orlando Pride to this point.
Whitteman and Eddie get tangled up. And a little flip there as Whitteman will get a free kick for Orlando. Ursig gets the ball up in the air off the hand of Sanderson. Ursig, in that May 14th game, picked up 2 yellow cards against Orlando in the 50th and the 89th. Sending her off late in that one. Doniak. Oh, a good ball for Mewis. Corner of the 18, the shot. Punch to the side. Williams with the rebound. Couldn't get to it.
And I think if it's any other player, you're thinking, okay, you got to pass this ball to Jess McDonald or Lynn Williams, but it's Samantha Mewis, and it's a great combination play. And here's Mewis just building. Look at this ball that gets slipped to Jess McDonald. What a pretty ball. And I think it's Mackenzie Doniak with another great ball. And it's McDonald and Mewis that could have taken that ball. It's Mewis with a Great shot. Good save by Ashlyn Harris. And Lynn Williams almost getting that rebound.
Great pass there to free up McDonald and Mewis in the 66th minute. Here's Whitteman. Evans, a little pocket right in the middle of the field. Kennedy again breaks up a pass. Goes out to Edmonds this time. Williams coming all the way back to help out. And she does prevent a corner kick. Good hustle there from Lynn Williams, the Week 7 Player of the Week in the NWSL.
Oh, yeah, and well-deserved. 2 great goals by Lynn Williams last week against Boston. I mean, and you could see the work rate. I mean, if you haven't seen her play before, you could just see the work rate, and the explosion in her speed is just tremendous.
Into the box, Morgan is in the chip. It's up and over the net. She just didn't have enough space to bring that up and back down. And unlike the May 14th game where she had a lot of space to chip it up and over the keeper, that time, not going to work for Morgan.
Yeah, not enough space. And Maddie Evans, again, hitting the ball. And it's Presley starting from the back and looking for Evans. And I think Maddie Evans having a great game. That ball sneaks through. And Morgan looking for another chip. Could she possibly chip the goalkeepers of the Western New York Flash 2 out of 2 games?
Here's Williams off the chest. Settles on the turf now. Williams. Still Williams.
She's got to go at her. She's just got to go with her speed and try to go at her. But Presley does a solid job just containing her.
Oh, good win by McDonald. And Harris makes the save, diving to her left.
I mean, Joe, there's just, there's a lot of excitement going on here. It's good explosion again. I mean, Presley still just keeping her outside, not allowing anything to happen. She blocks the pass. That ball comes back across, and McDonald put it into that lower corner.
Another change coming up here in the 68th minute. Dree Leone will be coming on, and she'll replace the goal scorer, Mackenzie Doniak. As this is the second substitution for Paul Riley in the Western New York Flash.
And you start looking at, the switch of Leone and Doniak. Leone got the first 4 starts of the season, and since then, since Doniak's come on, she's been getting the starts. And you see, she scores a goal. She's threading passes. She's getting involved nonstop. I mean, Leone and Doniak, what a good battle between those two for the starting spot. But you have Leone coming off the bench, and she's just another dynamic player for the Western New York Flash as well. But Doniak, last 3 games with starts, she lost against the Orlando Pride. The last 2, she wins 5-2. She's involved in a win in 4-0, and then gets her first career professional goal tonight against the Orlando Pride.
Deep swerving ball from Sanderson. Whitteman keeps it in play on the far side. Here's Leone. Nope, lets it go out of play. Leone's 8th appearance of the season. Coming over from Chicago. Canadian national team player. Also played with the Boston Breakers. Williams for Leone. Spencer comes back to intercept to Sanderson. Morgan. Eddie and Morgan battle, and Morgan slammed down to the turf by Elizabeth Eddy, and the referee will point to the goal kick for Western New York. He'll take a look at Alex Morgan, who's down near the signage.
And it's right here. It's Leanne Sanderson. She gets the ball. Leone with a, passing that ball. It's good stuff by Spencer. Sanderson looking for Morgan here. It's Eddie and Morgan just fighting. Morgan's got position. I think
that's a hard fall.
Eddie just gave it a little bit more, but just trying to contain Morgan to the outside.
I hope it's nothing too serious for Alex Morgan, as obviously the Olympics just around the corner for the USA. But the way she landed, it could be an elbow, could be a shoulder injury. As Elizabeth Eddy and Alex Morgan tangled up inside the box. Here's another look at that last play. It has Morgan being looked at by the trainer. She's laying on her stomach, kind of kicking against the sign that's behind her.
It's a nice little ball, Eddie, and you can see what happens after the play. She goes down. I think she just hits the turf hard.
Still down. Now she's rolled onto her back. In the 71st minute, a stoppage here as we're looking at the challenge between Elizabeth Eddy, and it's her right arm or shoulder that really takes the brunt of the knock to the turf. Morgan is still down, being looked at by the trainer. It'll be a goal kick when we resume play here. And the referee calling both teams back onto the field as Morgan is well off the pitch to the far side of the flash goal. And it's her right arm or her right shoulder that the trainer is looking at. And again, hopefully with the Olympics, nothing too serious. As Alex Morgan and the U.S. prepare for the games in Rio.
Kansas injury time is brought to you by Rochester Immediate Care.
It'll be a goal kick for Eckerstrom. And Morgan is up. It's a round of applause from the fans here in Rochester. That's a good sign, not only for Orlando, but for the U.S.
Oh, absolutely. It's a good shoulder-to-shoulder battle right there.
Yeah, the arm didn't really come out.
No, it was just shoulder-to-shoulder, and Elizabeth Eddy and both Alex Morgan just trying to stand their ground and trying to get space, fighting for the same exact space.
Williams into the box. Presley's high clearance.
And who was there, Joe?
You know it.
Yeah, it's Toni Presley. She's been everywhere.
Ursig. Morgan being waved back onto the field. Into the 18. Harris will pick it up in front of Alloway. 73rd minute. 1-0 Western New York. Evans, a lot of space to turn. Goes outside to Whitteman.
I mean, Maddie Evans has definitely been one of the highlights for the Orlando Pride.
Here's Morgan. Tees up. Shot right at Eckerstrom. Appears to be okay.
It's a great turn, great shot, but it's Maddie Evans continually build out of the back. Monica and Evans, good communication between those two. It's Whitteman on the outside, finding Alex Morgan right here with a nice pass, a great turn, giving her just way too much space. Dahlkemper's got to get tight on Alex Morgan. Don't let her turn and take a free shot from 22 yards out, because you never know what's going to happen.
Morgan, 2 goals, 1 assist on the season. But on the national scene, 11 goals in 2016. 7 of them in her career have come against Japan. She's got 67 career goals and likes to put a mark in against Japan for sure. This restart will be brought back and pushed back as well. All right, we play on. 3 times for 1 free kick.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit too particular. I mean, just he's been doing a great job letting the game play, letting the game go on, but it's things like that continue to let the game go on.
Evans has been strong. That's a good ball for Edmonds. Heavy on the cross.
Yeah, Evans very, very, very impressive. I mean, she's played in this league for many years. She's been with Boston since 2013. Got picked up by Orlando in the expansion draft, and I think that's a good pickup for the Orlando Pride. And she's really proven herself tonight.
25-year-old, number 18, Maddie Evans, playing in the middle of the park next to Sanderson. Good win by Mewis through the crowd. McDonald.
And I think that's a good sub by Simani to put Sanderson in that attacking midfield role with Evans. Gives her a little bit more freedom to float. Take out Belanger. She's been getting beat by Lynn Williams. And let's see what Edmonds can do in that right back position against Lynn Williams.
And Spencer, she'll pick up a card here for her challenge against Hinkle in the 76th minute.
Spencer disagrees.
She's been persistent this evening.
Hey man, she's always enjoyable to watch. She was always enjoyable with the Western New York Flash. One of those 7 players that's played with the Western New York Flash, and that's a battle between the two. And here you go. Spencer didn't like something that she got from Hinkle along the way.
away to Sanderson. Whitteman. Catley. Catley's been quiet here in this second half.
Yeah, very much so. And Whitteman's done a solid job. She's the one player on the Orlando Pride on the pitch that's one of the college draft picks. You can't really talk too much about the expansion draft because they're all experienced players, but the one college draft pick is Whitteman.
Morgan again with a shot. And that's off the side netting and the signage behind the Flash goal.
Again, giving Morgan just way too much space off this throw-in. You know, you can see Morgan running off Sanderson, takes that one touch, and again, just giving her way too much space. You got to step forward and get tight on her ASAP.
Boy, she can whistle one in there, can't she? She's got a powerful shot. Not too far off the mark for Alex Morgan. Edmonds, Sanderson, Evans, Monica. There's Catley. Possession here. Evans, pocket of space to turn and go. Still Evans. Still Evans. Look at the space she's got. Morgan tries the cheeky little back heel. Claims she was obstructed by Dahlkemper. No call.
Yeah, Morgan not liking it. But again, Maddie Evans getting Maddie Evans way too much space. And the center of the park for the Orlando Pride is really starting to own this game. You keep saying Sanderson, Monica, Evans, Sanderson, Monica, Evans. And they're really starting to control the center of the park.
Should I stop saying that?
No, keep saying it because they're playing fantastic for Tom Sermani. And I mean, you talk about all the players from the expansion draft, and you got Monica, who's a quote-unquote discovery player for Brazilian International.
They are seeing so much of the ball. There's Evans again. Spencer looks, turns. No one there off of it for her. Out of the near side, McDonald coming off a light surgery on that left knee just to kind of clean up from a previous knee injury. Nothing too major, but she's heavily bandaged. Ball's picked up by Williams.
I mean, Williams has to go at Alloway. She's been owning her all night, just again with her speed.
Through the box and no one there.
What a great ball by Williams, and she's just, again, just keep going at Alloway because Alloway has no chance against Williams.
Eddie to the top of the 18 and
with her speed.
Evans will take it away.
Looks like Edmonds is down here, and I don't think anyone sees that she's down. I don't know if it's an ankle or what.
Eddie continues, crosses. Leon couldn't get it to settle. Has to regroup. Edmonds still stretching out that calf. Looks like it's a cramp for her. Flash continue to have possession. It's Leon. Catley. Evans now to Sanderson. Gets away from Ursig. Opens up some space here on the near side for Monica, who will clear it out and give Edmonds a chance to be looked at by the trainer. Looks like Sarah Hagan will also be coming in for Orlando, the 26-year-old. Patiently waiting to enter the match. Again, a very warm evening. Looks like Edmonds is just cramping up here on the left leg. 88 degrees tonight at kickoff. Now 80 minutes in, the Flash have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, there's something wrong. Every time she stands up, she's got to go back down.
And we'll see if it's Hagan who does come on for Edmonds, but I think Tom Sermani is going to hold off for a second here to see what move he wants to make.
Yeah, and he's just got his arms up. He's like, listen, we got to get Sarah on the pitch.
Just make the change,
right
he
now,
says.
she's such a dynamic forward.
It will be Edmonds or Hagan for Edmonds in the 81st minute. Second change of the game. As Edmonds goes off, the former member of the Flash, and Hagan comes on to make her 7th appearance. She's got 1 goal on the season. And more tactical adjustments coming up here for Tom Sermani and Orlando. Possession given to Whitman.
Yeah, Whitman, who's been in that attacking role on the outside left the entire game, filling in that right back position. And if I'm Paul Riley, I tell Lynn Williams, listen, you've been beating Alloway all day. Now you've got a rookie in front of you.
McDonald.
Go at her.
McDonald around Alloway. The shot. Harris makes the save. The rebound by Leone is put wide. As Harris gets tangled in the net, and it's still 1-0.
And it's Jess McDonald right here. That ball gets played to her. Right here, it just sneaks through, and it's a little flick by Mewis. And Presley diving in. Jess McDonald, again, she beats Alloway. Maybe she lays that off to Leone. Leone's coming full speed forward. And then Leone tries to backheel it into the open net. And Ashlyn Harris with another great save on Jess McDonald. That's the second time, 1v1, Jess McDonald and Ashlyn Harris. One time in the first half, second time here in the second half.
There's Hagan. Coming over from FC Kansas City, lays it off to Whitman. Gets it back. Still Hagan battles for it. And the referee is going to call a foul and issue a yellow card as well. I'm not sure if it's Hahn or Ursig who he was looking at.
Well, you can see right here, this ball gets played in from Whitman to Hagan. Hagan with a nice little turn here. Starts attacking, and it's definitely Hahn that gets stuck in.
83rd minute, Hahn in the book for Western New York.
And Tony Presley and Leanne Sanderson are saying, listen, we're sick of you Australians. We're going to put a little bit of English on this, or a little bit of American on it.
4 on the wall for the Flash. Presley and Sanderson take a look. Here's the whistle. Presley's high, deep shot. No trouble at all.
And Sermani just puts both hands in front of his face, saying, we have to capitalize on opportunities like this.
That is not even close from the
Presley's
Pride
not,
defender.
Presley having a very good match tonight, other than that one play we just saw with her diving in and that free kick.
Well, that was not like the goal she scored in the championship game against Chicago a few years back when she played for the Western New York Flash. That absolute rocket to break the hearts of Rory Dames and the Red Stars. This is off of the Flash and a throw-in for Catley and Orlando. Monica. Whitman has come onto the near side now. Laid off back to Whitman by Evans. Morgan. Evans. Chips into the box. Punched away by Eckerstrom. Around the head of Dahlkemper. That's fighting through traffic. Hinkle to Mewis. Mike, both keepers have been solid tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Eckerstrom with another opportunity, punching that ball out.
Throwing for Whitman, just in her own half of the field. Headed by Williams, Ursig. To midfield, Monica and Hahn. Trade headers. Mewis gets it back from McDonald. Mewis into space for Leone. Great tackle by Catley.
Well, she knows the speed of Leone on the outside. Leone's got fresh legs, and it is a great tackle by Catley. That's a goal-saving tackle right there by Catley. It's a great ball by Mewis. Mewis just so active, so mobile, and Catley watching it. Mewis slips that ball behind Catley, similar to the ball that she played to Doniak in the first half, that McDonald played to Doniak in the first half behind Catley. But Catley aware of that.
Third change of the game here in the 86th minute. It's Christina Birkenrode coming on for Jasmine Spencer. Berkham Road, the 22-year-old, made her debut in the 2-0 loss at Kansas City in the last Orlando match.
Yeah, when you have Kyle on the bench, Edwards on the bench, there must be something that Sermani sees in Berkham Road that he likes at this point in the match where you need a goal with less than, let's say, 5 to 8 minutes left with extra time, with injury time.
Look at the footwork from Leon. Rips one, but off the side netting.
Yeah, I mean, all that good work by Leon. She's got to make something happen. She's got 3 key forwards, your leading scorers on the team in the box. Try to hit one of them, scream that one across versus trying to get yourself one. Great stuff. You're beating your defender. Some really nice footwork. Hit somebody across the 18, across that 6-yard box.
Hagen lays it off for Evans. Looking for Sanderson, but sprinting over Abby Dahlkemper. Clears it safely away. A throw in here for Whitteman. Quickly to Monica. Given away though, McDonald for Western New York gets it to Mewis.
Yeah, you got to hit Lynn Williams here.
And
She's been beating everyone all day. Whitteman with some speed.
Good tackle.
Another good tackle by Whitteman.
If this one holds, Western New York goes to 15 points. They would jump ahead of Washington, Chicago, Portland, and Orlando. But tomorrow, Chicago hosting the Portland Thorns at 6 p.m. Now, Portland, the only 3rd team in the league history to go unbeaten through the first 7 games of the season. So pending that one, we'll see if the 3 points will hold up here tonight for the Flash. And do they remain atop the table?
Yeah, Paul Riley's former team, they're 3-0-4, so they're still in 2nd place. Like, hey, you can go unbeaten, but you got to win games. You got 4 ties. You got to take advantage of that. I think it's too early for them to be doing this. I think it's too early, way too early for the Western New York Flash to be trying to settle the game into the corner. There's 2 minutes in regulation, and then there's going to be injury time. You got to remember there's probably 3 minutes at least with Alex Morgan down outside the pitch.
Orlando can't believe the call, Han. I think she's a little surprised as well that it goes against Orlando, and it's a kick for the Flash. Tom Sermani's arms up in the air, saying, "Are you kidding me?"
I mean, that's got to go to Lynn Williams.
The Flash 4-3, Orlando 4-3. 2 great coaches in Sermani and Paul Riley. And for Paul Riley, brought into this club that has missed the postseason the last 2 years, something Western New Yorkers aren't accustomed to. He's got a big job ahead of him. He's doing a great job.
When they win the amount of championships in a row that they do, and all of a sudden go 2 years without being in the playoffs, you know, Western New York is used to championships.
Great choice to bring in Paul Riley to lead the way for the Western New York Flash.
Well, he's created an environment for these young players to thrive and develop in, and giving them opportunities to learn while winning. So you see it happening right here in front of your eyes.
90th minute.
You know, and although we talk about on paper what the Orlando Pride look like, but you take players from all these other teams, from 7 different teams in an expansion draft. A lot of these players haven't played with each other ever. So now you have to try to mold this team into something. So it's not an easy task. Although Tom Sermani's got the players on paper, it's not an easy task to try to mold something in 1 year.
We're in the 90th minute, and we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time. A 1-0 Flash lead. 3rd minute goal from Duniak. Alloway heads it right to
McDonald. Got to go at it with
McDonald.
speed. This is deja vu.
Turns the corner, and coming back is Catley.
Yeah, it's a good recovery run there by Catley. And again, Leon coming off the bench, staying active and staying with the play, hoping to get something there.
It'll be a corner kick for Western New York. 3rd one of the game for the Flash, who look to stay.
And Sermani over there talking to Catley. And here's Jess McDonald. And after Catley gets the ball right here, She just kicks it out, and all Sermani's saying, hey, we can get a lot more out of that versus giving them a corner kick and wasting time into the corner. So he's trying to tell Catley, listen, you got to be smarter at this point in the game. Telling the 22-year-old it's not good enough to just clear it. Listen, you're definitely going to win it. Do something with it that starts building from the back again.
We're in stoppage time. 4 minutes called for. 1-0 Western New York. Evans gets the head on it looking for Birkenroad, but Ursig is there first. Leone turns, comes away with the ball. Leone. She'll run to the far corner, eat away at the clock. And Presley quickly throws it in for the visitors. Birkenroad.
Leone's got to be stronger there and just try to take a foul. You know Presley's on your back.
Kennedy.
You know, we keep talking about Williams and McDonald, and here they are again. And maybe it's not too early to start wasting time in the corner. Listen, I'm not Paul Riley, but that was just my idea.
Knocked away by Orlando and out of bounds.
We keep talking about Williams and McDonald up top, and I got interrupted with them playing again, but Dahlkemper and Kennedy at center back playing
Awesome.
phenomenal.
Yep.
I mean, against a very dynamic, attacking front in Whitteman, Morgan, and Spencer, and now Sarah Hagan up top.
And Orlando just with no concept out of the back right now, playing long balls, just giving it away and eating away at the clock.
Well, I mean, they've been chasing Williams and McDonald so much. You could see Alloway, I mean, she is just exhausted. She just doesn't want to chase Lynn Williams anymore.
Morgan knocks it off of Hahn.
That's brilliant by her, right? Getting that throw in the attacking half.
Morgan tried to take about 20 extra yards.
I would too.
It's brought back and thrown in by Whitteman. Off of Mewis. Flash holding on to that slim 1-0 lead. Goes back to Presley. She can serve a deep ball. Goes short to Whitteman instead. She'll pump one forward. Ursig wins the header. And ball by Presley.
I'd play it quick. Why not? I would. But
Should be less than a minute remaining here in stoppage time.
oh, well, we're about 20. I mean, it's 93-40 right now, Joe. And
For Western New York on this homestand, it'll be Portland, Boston, Chicago, and the Seattle Reign will round it out. A 7-game homestand. Flash looking to go 3-0, just seconds away from that as the referee's checking his watch. Knocked out of play by Williams.
and it's 94-10. And Paul Riley and Scott Vallow are up in arms right now.
Presley won't even have a chance to serve it. That'll do it. Western New York will pick up the victory. They hold on to the early goal that they got in the 3rd minute. And it stands the rest of the way as they even the season series. They even the all-time series with Orlando. They return the favor with an identical scoreline of 1-0 tonight on home turf.
Joe, if I told you after 8 games in this season and you looked at the rosters of these two teams and I told you that the Western New York Flash would be in first place, I don't think anyone would believe me. And what Paul Riley has done with this team is tremendous and created an environment that these players want to learn, they want to develop, they want to be part of the program, and they want to stay in the program. It's just tremendous, and you see it. You see the young players stepping up. Just a great game by the Western New York Flash.
As Mike mentioned, Western New York now goes up to first place, jumping up and over Orlando, Portland, Chicago, and Washington. But don't forget, tomorrow, Chicago playing host to Portland. So pending that result, we'll see where they end up after this weekend. But like you said, a dynamite spot to be in for Paul Riley and his club.
Yeah, it's a dynamite spot. And the Orlando Pride, an expansion team, and if I told you that they'd be 4-4 and in the mix and challenging. And Tom Sermani's done a fantastic job trying to mold this team of players from 7 different teams, putting them all together. And great match. I think Orlando dominated the majority of the match, but they just can't put it in the back of the net. And how about, we talked about Williams and McDonald, and then we started talking about the center backs. But how about the rookie, her second professional career game with her second shutout here in the NWSL, arguably the top league in the world.
I think it is, and that's a good point, as Britt Eckerstrom gets her second straight clean sheet in her second ever professional appearance. But now she's got Caitlin Rowland coming in, and she's going to be pushing her for the spot. But Eckerstrom looked good tonight.
Yeah, she's made some great saves, parrying the ball in the right direction, never leaving the ball wide open. And there was that one opportunity that Kennedy cleared off the line, but you always need one of those. There was one last game as well. Dahlkemper cleared one off the line for her. And Britt Eckerstrom's got to thank her 2 center backs for the last 2 games of giving up no goals.
So you look at the standings now, it's Western New York up top with 15 points. You mentioned maybe some surprises when you look at the standings. Orlando, the expansion team, at 500, but Kansas City at the second from the bottom spot. So it's a wide open year, Mike. Should be a great run down the stretch, but for the Western New York side, it's been some really good home soccer. They win their 3rd straight out of their 7-game homestand.
Just great soccer, and you can see Scott Vallo's extremely excited. Paul Riley's extremely excited. It's great to see them on top.
All right, final score tonight from Rhino Stadium. Western New York picks up the win. They're now 5-3. They defeat the Orlando Pride 1-0, and the season series is even at 1. Doniak with the goal in the 3rd minute, as we'll close it out here from downtown Rochester. For our entire production crew and our color commentator Mike Kerms, I'm Joe Giuliano, saying so long on the Flash Broadcast Network.